Love has no eye. Tonight is the final meeting of the meditation camp. And in this last meeting, I wanted to talk to you about some last keys. In the mind of man, there is intense tension, and this tension has reached a level of near madness. One has to relax this tension, and along with it, there is much losing in the heart of man. The strings of the veena of his heart are loose. They have to be tightened. This morning I told you of a few cues about tightening the strings of the heart. And now we will talk about the last key. From the veena of man's life, the greatest music possible arises in the heart, whose strings are in tune. The society which has lost its heart, an age or period in which all the values of the heart have become weakened, has lost all that is good, truthful, and beautiful. If we want goodness, truth, and beauty to enter our lives, there is no other way than to tune the strings of the veena of the heart. Love is the way to tune the strings of the heart, the way to bring the strings of the heart into the right space from where music can arise. That is why I call love prayer. I call love the way to attaining to the divine. I call love the divine. Prayer without love is false, hollow, meaningless. Without love, words of prayer have no value at all. And without love, no one who becomes interested in journey towards the divine will ever be able to reach the ultimate. Love is the way to make the veena of the heart sing. You will need to understand some things about love itself. The first illusion is that you all think you know about love. This illusion is tremendously harmful because you will never make any effort to attain to or to awaken that which you think you already know. But you are not aware that one who knows love has simultaneously acquired the capacity to know the divine. If you know love, then nothing else remains to be known in life. But the way you are, you know nothing. Everything is still to be known. So, the love which you think of as love is probably not love. You have called something else love, and as long as you have this illusion, as long as you have the idea that you know all about love, how can you search and seek for it? The first thing to be understood is that you don't know love at all. One hot afternoon, Jesus stopped under a tree in a garden. It was very hot and he was tired. So he slept in the shadow of a tree. He did not even know to whom the house, the garden, or the tree belonged. It was the garden of Magdalene, a very beautiful prostitute of those days. Magdalene looked out the window and saw this beautiful person sleeping under the tree. She had never seen such a beautiful man. Just as there is a beauty of the body, there is a beauty of the soul. One can often see beauty of the body, but beauty of the soul is rarely seen. But when the beauty of the soul appears, even the ugliest body becomes the most beautiful flower. She had seen many beautiful people because there was always a crowd at her door. It was often difficult for her even to enter her own house. Magdalene was drawn to the tree as if pulled by some magnet. Jesus was about to get up and leave. He had finished resting. Magdalene said, "Would you do me the favor of coming into my house to rest?" Jesus said, "I have finished resting now, and it was your tree. Now it is time for me to leave. But if I happen to pass by here again, and I am tired, then I will certainly rest in your house." Magdalene felt hurt. Great princess had been turned away from her door. And now, when she was inviting a beggar from the streets to rest in her house, he refused. It hurt her feelings. So she said, "No, I am not going to listen to this. You must come inside. Won't you do even this much to show me your love? Won't you come and rest in my house for a little while?" Jesus said, "By your very invitation, I have entered your house already, because except in the feelings of the heart, where else is your house? And if you ask, won't you show me even this much love? Then I will say to you that you may have seen many people who have said to you, 'I love you,' but none of them loved you, because in their innermost core they were loving something else. And I can assure you that I am actually one of the few people who can love you and who does love you, because only one in those heart love has arisen can love. None of you can love because within you there is no flow of love. When you say to somebody, 'I love you,' you are in fact not giving love. You are asking for love. All of you ask for love. And how can one who is himself asking for love? How can beggars be emperors? How can people who are asking for love be the givers of love? All of you ask each other for love. Your beings are beggars asking someone to love you. The wife asks the husband for love. The husband asks the wife for love. The mother asks the son asks the mother. Friends ask friends for love. All of you ask one another for love without realizing that the friend that you are asking is himself asking for love. You are like two beggars standing in front of each other, holding your begging bowls. As long as someone is asking for love, he cannot be capable of giving love, because the very asking is an indication that there is no source of love within him. Otherwise, why would he have to ask for love from the outside? Only a person who has risen above the need to ask for love can give love. Love is a sharing, it is not a begging. Love is an emperor, it is not a beggar. Love knows only giving, it does not know anything about asking. Do you know love? The love which is asked for cannot be love. And remember, someone who asks for love will never get any love in this world. One of the essential laws, one of the eternal laws of life is someone who asks for love will never ever get it. Love only comes to the door of a house from where the desire for love has disappeared. Love starts showering on the house of someone who has stopped asking for love. But no rains will fall on the house of someone who is still hankering for love. Love will not flow towards an asking heart. The asking heart does not have the kind of receptivity that makes it possible for love to enter. Only a sharing heart, a giving heart, has the kind of receptivity for love to come to its door and say, "Open the door, I have come." Has love ever knocked at your doors? No, because until now you have not been able to give love. And remember also that whatever you give will come back to you. One of the eternal laws of life is that whatever we give comes back to us. The whole world is nothing more than an echo. You give hate, and hate will come back to you. You give anger, and anger will come back to you. You abuse others, and abuse return to you. You put out thorns, and the thorns will return to you. Whatever you have given returns to you, comes back to you in infinite ways. And if you share love, then love will come back to you in infinite ways. If love has no return to you in an immeasurable number of ways, then know that it is because you have not given love. But how can you give love? You don't have it to give. If you have love, then why do you wander from door to door asking for it? Why do you become beggars, wandering from place to place? Why do you ask for love? There was a fakir named Farid. The people of his town said to him, "Farid, the Emperor Akbar respects you very much. Ask him to open a school in our town." Farid said, "I have never asked for anything from anybody. I am a fakir. I know only giving." The people of the town were very surprised. They said, "We have always thought that a fakir always asks, but you say that a fakir only knows how to give. We do not understand these subtle and serious things. Please just do us a favor. Ask Akbar to open a school for us." The people of the town were persistent. So early in the morning, Farid went to meet Akbar. Akbar was praying in his mosque, and Farid went and stood behind him. After Akbar had finished his prayers, he raised both his hands towards the sky and cried, "Oh God, increase my wealth, increase my treasure, increase my kingdom." Hearing this, Farid started to turn away. Akbar got up and saw that Farid was leaving. He rushed after him and stopped him, asking, "Why did you come and why are you leaving?" Farid said, "I thought that you were an emperor, but I have found that you also are a beggar. I thought that I would ask for a school for the town. I did not know that you also ask God to increase your wealth and your treasure. It does not seem right to ask for something from a beggar. I thought that you were an emperor, and now I see that you are a beggar. So I am leaving. You are all beggars. And you all go on asking other beggars for that which they don't have. And when you don't get it, you become sad. You weep and cry and feel that you are not getting love. Love is not something to be obtained from the outside. Love is the music of your inner being. Nobody can give you love. Love can arise within you, but it cannot be obtained from the outside. There is no shop, no market, no salesman from whom you can purchase love. Love cannot be purchased at any price. Love is an inner flowing. It rises from some dormant energy within you. Yet, all of us search for love on the outside. All of us search for love in the beloved, which is an absolutely wrong and futile thing to do. Search for love within yourself. You cannot even imagine that there might be love inside yourself, because love is always associated with the idea of a beloved. It gives you the idea of someone else outside. And because you don't remember how love can arise within you, the energy of love remains dormant. You don't realize that you are always asking for something outside which is already within you. And because you are asking for it outside, you don't look inside. Then that which could have arisen within never does. Love is the essential treasure with which each individual is born. Man is not born with money. Money is social accumulation. But man is born with love. It is his birthright. It is his individual wealth. It is within him. It is a companion which was given to him at birth and which has accompanied him his whole life. But very few are fortunate enough to look within and to see where love is, how it can be found, and how it can be developed. So you are born, but your wealth remains unexplored. In fact, it is never explored at all, and you go on begging at others' doors, holding out your hands because you want love. All over the world, there is only one desire for love, and all over the world, there is only one complaint: I am not getting any love. And when you do not get love, you accuse others of being at fault because you do not get love. The wife says to her husband, there is something wrong with you. That's why I am not getting any love. The husband says to his wife, there is something wrong with you. That's why I am not getting any love. And no one ever wonders if it has ever been possible to get love from the outside. Love is the inner treasure, and love itself is the music of the veena of the heart. The veena of men's heart has become very disturbed. The music for which it was created does not arise. How can this music be created? What is the obstacle standing in the way of creation of this music? What is the obstacle which does not allow it to happen? Have you ever thought about this obstacle? Have you ever considered what it might be? An anchor who was a good dramatist and a good poet died. Many people gathered at the cremation ground for his funeral. The director of the film company in which he had been working was also present, and he said a few words of condolence. The director said, I made this man an anchor. It was I who took him out of the back roads and put him on the highways. It was I who gave him his first role in the movies. It was I who published his first book. I am the reason he became famous all over the world. He had said this much. I was present at that funeral, and some of you may also have been there. The director had said this much when suddenly the corpse, which was lying there, got up and said, "Excuse me, sir, who is being buried here? You or me? Who are you talking about?" The director was saying, "I am the one who made him famous. I am the one who published his book. I am the one who gave him his first role in the movies. I am the one." Even the corpse could not tolerate the noise of this I. It got up and said, "Forgive me, but please tell me one thing. Who is being buried in this funeral? You or me? Who are you talking about?" Even the corpses cannot tolerate the noise of this I, and man continuously goes on making the noise of this I. How can living people tolerate it? There can be only two possible voices within you, but there is no voice of love within the person who is filled with the voice of I, and there is no voice of I within the person who is filled with the voice of love. The two of them can never be found together. It is impossible. It is as impossible as darkness and light existing together. Once darkness went to God and said, "The sun keeps chasing after me. He is giving me so much trouble. He follows me from morning until night, and by the evening I am very tired. And when it is night, before I have completed my sleep and my rest, he started to follow me again. I don't remember doing anything wrong to him. I don't think that I have ever made him angry. So, why is he following me? Why am I continuously being harassed? What have I done wrong?" Then God called the sun and asked, "Why are you chasing after that poor darkness? She is always moving, hiding, taking shelter here and there. Why do you follow her all the time? What is the need?" The sun said, "Who is this darkness? I have not yet met her. I don't even know her. Who is darkness? What is darkness? I have not seen her yet. I have not met her yet. But if I have unknowingly committed some mistake, then I am ready to apologize. And once I recognize her, I will never follow her again." They say that millions and trillions of years have passed since this event, but the case is still pending in the files of God. Yet, God has not been able to get darkness and the sun together. And I say to you that never in the future will he be able to do so, howsoever almighty he may be. Even the Almighty does not have the ability to bring darkness in front of the sun, because darkness and the light cannot exist together. There is a reason why they cannot exist together. The reason is that darkness has no being of its own, so it cannot exist in front of the sun. Darkness is only the absence of light. So, how can the absence and the presence of the same thing exist together? Darkness is only the absence of the sun. Darkness is nothing in itself. It is just the absence of the sun. It is the just absence of the light. So, how can an absence of light exist? How can both of these things exist together? God will never be able to arrange it. In the same way, ego and love also cannot exist together. Ego is like darkness. It is the absence of love. It is not the presence of love. Love is absent within you. So, Within you, the voice of your I goes on echoing, and with this voice of your I, you say, I want to love, I want to give love, I want to receive love. Have you gone mad? There has never been any relationship between I and love. And this I goes on speaking about love, saying, I want to pray, I want to attain to God, I want to be liberty. This is the same as darkness saying, I want to hug the sun, I want to love the sun, I want to be a guest in the house of the sun. It is impossible. I is the absence of love itself. I is the lack of love. And the more you go on strengthening this voice of your I, and less possible it will be to find love within you. The more of the ego is there, the more love will be absent. And when there is total ego, love totally dies. There can be no love within you, because if you look inside, you will find that the voice of your I is resounding there continuously 24 hours a day. You breathe with this I, you drink water with this I, you enter a temple with this I. What else is there in your life except this I? Your clothes are the clothes of your I. Your positions are the positions of your I. Your knowledge is the knowledge of your I. Your spiritual practice, your helping others, is the helping of your I. Your everything, even your meditation, is also the meditation of your I. A strong feeling rises inside. I am a meditator. I am not a householder. I am not an ordinary person. I am a meditator. I am a helper. I am a knowledgeable person. I am rich. I am this. I am that. The house that has been built around this I will never know love. And then the music which could bring the heart to the innermost core, which could make it acquainted with the truths of life, will not arise from the vina of the heart. The door will not open. It will always remain closed. It has to be completely understood how strong your I is, how deep it is, and you have to clearly see if you are giving it more strength, if you are making it deeper, if you are making it stronger and stronger every day, and if you are making it stronger yourself, then drop any hope that love will arise within you, or that the closed knot of love can open, or that the treasure of love can be attained. Drop the very idea. There is no way that it can happen. So, I do not tell you to start loving, because the ego can also say, I am a lover and I love. The love which comes from the ego is absolutely false. Hence, I say that all your love is false, because it comes out of ego. It is the shadow of ego. And remember that love which comes out of the ego is more dangerous than hate, because hate is clear, direct, and simple. But love which comes with a false face will be difficult to recognize. If you are loved by a love that comes out of ego, after a while you will feel that you are being held by iron chains instead of loving hands. After a while, you will come to know that the love which makes beautiful speeches and sings beautiful songs to you is just making tempting overtures. There is much poison in those sweet songs. And if a love which comes in the form of flowers is a shadow of the ego, then when you touch the flowers, you will find thorns which will pierce you. When people go fishing, they put bait on the hook. The ego wants to become a master of others. It wants to possess them. So it pierces them deeply by baiting the hook with love. So many people end up in pain and suffering because of their illusions about love. Not even in hell do so many people suffer so much. And because of this illusion of love, the whole earth, the whole of humanity is suffering. But still, you do not understand that a love from the ego is false. This is why this hell has been created. The love to which ego is attached is a form of jealousy. And this is why no one is as jealous as lovers are. The love which is attached to the ego is a conspiracy and a trick to possess the others. It is a conspiracy. That is why no one is as suffocating as someone who says he loves you. This situation is created because of the so-called love which comes from the ego, and there can never be any relationship between love and the ego. Jalaluddin Rumi used to sing a song, very beautiful song. He would go from town to town singing the song. Whenever people would ask him to tell something about God, he would sing the song. The song was very wonderful. In that song, he said that a lover went to the door of his beloved and knocked at the door. And the beloved asked, "Who are you?" The lover said, as all lovers say, "I am your lover." There was a silence inside. No answer came. No voice was heard from inside. The lover started knocking loudly on the door again, but it seemed that there was no one outside. He started shouting, "Why is there silence inside? Answer me. I am your lover. I have come." But the louder he said, "I have come. I am your lover," the more silent the house became, like a graveyard. There was no answer from within. Then he started beating his head on the door and said, "Answer at least once." And an answer came from inside. "There can be no space in this house for two. You say, 'I have come, I am your lover,' but I am already present here. There is no space for two here. The door of love can open only for those who have dropped the I. Go now, come again another time." The lover left. He prayed and meditated for years. Many moons passed. Many sunrises and sunsets passed. Many years passed, and then he returned to the door. When he knocked, he again heard the same question, "Who are you?" This time the lover said, "There is no I, there is only you." Jalaluddin Rumi said that at this moment the door opened. I would not have opened the door. Jalaluddin died many years ago, so there is no way for me to tell him that the time was not right for the doors to be opened. He allowed the doors to be opened too soon because one who says, "There is only you," still experiences himself as an I. Only someone who does not experience a you does not experience himself as an I either. So, although it is wrong to say that love does not contain two, it is equal wrong to say that love contains only one. In love, neither two nor one exist. If there is a sense of the one, know well that the other is also present, because only the other can be aware of the one. Where you is present, I is also present. So I would have sent that lover away again. He said, "There is no I, there is only you." But someone who says this is there, totally there, he has just learned a trick. The first time he had answered, "I am," and the door remained closed. Then, after years of contemplation, he decided to say, "I am not only you are." But who was saying this? And why was he saying this? Someone who knows you also knows I. Remember that you is the shadow of I. For someone whose I has disappeared, the you also does not remain. So I would have sent the lover away, because the beloved had said, "There is no space for two." The man did not get it. He started shouting and saying, "Where are these two? Now I am not. There is only you." But the beloved should have told him to leave, because he had only learned a trick. He still saw two people. The beloved said that if there were no longer two, the lover would not even have tried to get him to open the door, because who is asking for the door to be opened? And who does he think will open it? In a house of two, there cannot be love. My version is that the lover went away. Years passed, and he did not return. He never returned. Then the beloved went in search of him. So I say that the day the shadow of your eye disappears, the day neither I nor you remains, on that day you will no longer have to search for the divine. The divine will come searching for you. No man can seek the divine, because he does not have the capacity for such a search. But when somebody has become ready to disappear, has become ready to be a nobody, has become ready to become an emptiness, then the divine will certainly find him. Only the divine can seek for man. Man can never seek the divine, because even in seeking, the ego is present. I am seeking. I have to attain God. I have acquired wealth. I have attained a position in parliament. I have got a big house. Now the last goal remains. I also want to attain the divine. How can I pass up the prestige of attaining God? That will be my final victory. I must attain this victory. I must also attain to the divine.
This is a proclamation, an insistence, and a search by the very ego itself. So, a religious person is not one who sets out in search of the divine. A religious person is one who sets in search of his I, and the more he goes on searching, the more he will find that his I is not at all there, and the day the I no longer remains, on that day the door which is hiding love will open for him. So the last thing is search for yourself, not for the divine. You do not know anything at all about the ultimate being. Do not go in search for the divine because you don't have even the slightest idea about the divine. How will you seek that about which you have no idea at all? Where will you seek someone for whom you have no address? Where will you seek someone about whom you have no information? Where will you seek someone who has no beginning and no end? Someone whose location you have no idea of? You will go mad. You will not know where to look. But you do know one thing. You know this I of yours. So, first of all, you have to seek this I. Find out what it is, where it is, and who it is. And as you search for it, you will be surprised to find that this I does not exist. It was an absolutely false notion. It was your imagination that an I exists. It was an illusion that you were nursing. When children were born, you give them a name for the sake of convenience. You call someone Ram, someone Krishna, someone something else. Nobody has a name. All names are for the sake of convenience. But later on, hearing and hearing it continuously, the person gets an illusion that this is his name. I am Ram. I am Krishna. And if you say something bad about Ram, he will be ready to fight you. You have abused him. And where did he get his name? Nobody is born with a name. Everyone is born nameless. But the name has a social utility. To make a label without a name is difficult. Hence, we give a name. We give you a name so that others can identify you. It has a social utility. And if you use your own name to refer to yourself, then there will be confusion. Are you referring to yourself or to someone else? So, to avoid confusion, you call yourself I. You is the title by which you call another. Both titles are imaginary. Social utilities, and you construct your life around these two titles, which are simply two blank words and nothing else. Behind them, there is no truth. Behind them, there is no substance. They are only names, only labels. Once this mistake happened. There was a little girl called Alice, and Alice went wandering in a strange land, a wonderful land. When she reached the queen of wonderful land, the queen asked Alice a question. She said, "Did you meet anybody on the way here?" And Alice replied, I met nobody. But the queen thought that she had met someone called nobody. And this illusion became stronger because then the queen's messenger arrived, and the queen asked him also if he had met anybody. He also said nobody. The queen said, "This is very strange." She thought that a person called nobody had met both Alice and the messenger. So she said to the messenger, "It seems that nobody walks slower than you." That statement has two meanings. One meaning is that nobody walks slower than the messenger. The messenger became afraid because a messenger should be able to walk very fast. So he said, "No, nobody walks faster than me." The queen said, "This is a difficult situation. You say that nobody walks faster than you. But if nobody walks faster than you, then he should have arrived before you. He should have arrived already." By now, the poor messenger realized that some kind of misunderstanding had happened, and so he said, "Nobody is nobody." But the queen replied, "I know that nobody is nobody. But who is he? Tell me. He should have arrived by now. Where is he?" With man, the same misunderstanding happens. Through language, everyone's name is nobody. No name has any more meaning than this. The whole idea of I is of nobody, not more than that. But through the misunderstanding of language, the illusion is created that I am somebody, I have a name. Man dies and leaves his name written on stones, hoping that perhaps the stones will last forever.
We don't know if they will. All the sand on the seashores was once stone. All stones sooner or later become sand. Whether you write your name on sand or you write it on stone, it is all the same. In this long history of the world, there is no difference between sand and stone. Children write their names on the sand at the seashore. Maybe they think that tomorrow people will pass by and see. But the waves come and wipe the sand clean. The old people laugh and say, "Are you mad? There is no point in writing names on sand." But the older people write on stones, and they are unaware that sand is created out of stones. There is no difference between old people and children. In foolishness, they are all of equal age. An emperor became a Chakravartin. This rarely happens. A Chakravartin means a master of whole earth. An old story says that Chakravartin had a special privilege which was not available anybody else, which others could not have. They had a chance to sign their name on Mount Sumeru, the mount in heaven. Even in infinite time, it is rare for someone to become a Chakravartin. So, signatures on Mount Sumeru, the eternal mountain, are a rare phenomenon. When the emperor became a Chakravartin, he was very happy. Now he had the privilege of signing his name on Mount Sumeru.
He reached the entrance of heaven with great pomp and show, accompanied by a huge army. And the doorkeeper said, "You have arrived. You can come in. But this crowd cannot come inside. They will have to go home. Have you brought some tools to carve your name with?" The emperor replied, "I have brought the instruments." The doorkeeper told him, "This Mount Sumeru is infinite, but there have been so many Chakravartins that now there is no space left on it to sign. So, first of all, you will have to erase someone's name, and then you can sign your name there, because no space is left. The whole mountain is covered." The emperor went through the gate. The mountain was infinite. Many Himalayas could have been contained in its smaller ranges, yet on its surface not even an inch of space was left. He had thought that someone became a Chakravartin only after long intervals, but he had no idea that so much time had passed that even if one person became a Chakravartin after a long time, the whole mountain would still be full. No space would be left. The emperor became very sad and upset. The doorkeeper said to him, "Don't be sad. My father and his father, my grandfather, also used to do this job. For generations we have known that whenever you want to sign, you have first to erase the surface. You can never find an empty space." Then the emperor turned around and said, "If one can sign only after erasing somebody else's name, then it is madness, because I will sign and go, and then somebody else will come tomorrow, erase my signature, and sign theirs. When this mountain is so big and there are so many names, who reads them? And what is the point? Forgive me, I am making a mistake. This is meaningless. There are very few people of such intelligence. Others have their names written on stones, on temples. They build memorials and have their names written on them, and they forget that they were born without names. They have no names of their own. So, on the one hand, stone is wasted, and on the other hand, labor is wasted. And when they die and say goodbye, they go nameless. You do not have a name of your own. The name is illusion visible to the outside world, and the I is the illusion visible to the inside. The I and the name are two sides of the same coin. The name is visible from the outside, and the I is visible from the inside. And as long as this illusion of the name and the I remains, the space from where love arises cannot open. So, the last thing that I want to say is, search a little. Go to Mount Sumeru and see how many signatures have been put there. Do you also want to add your name by erasing the surface? Go a little closer to the mountains and watch them turning into sand. Watch the children writing their names on the sea beach.
Look all round you yet. What we are doing? Are we wasting our lives writing the names on the sand? And if you feel like this, then search a little deeper. Enter into this eye and seek. One day you will find that is nobody. There is nobody there. There is a deep silence and peace there, but there is no I. And the day you came to know that there is no I inside you, you have come to know the whole, that which really is the being, the existence, the divine. That is why I say that love is the door to the divine, and ego is the door to the ignorance. Love is the door to the light, and ego is the door to darkness. I had to say this last thing before we leave. Explore love from this dimension. This exploration will begin with the ego, and it will end with the attainment of love. So, explore in this direction. Does this shadow of the ego really exist? Does this I really exist? The man who sets out on this exploration not only will not find an I, but he also will attain to the divine. Someone who is tied to the stake of the I is not able to undertake the journey into the ocean of the divine. This was the last thing I wanted to say to you. In fact, this is the first and last thing to be said. I is the first thing in a person's life, and I is the last. The person tied up in the I experiences pain, and after becoming free of I, he attains to bliss. There is no story, no tale except I. There is no dream except I. There is no lie except I. Find this I, and the doors to bliss can open. If the rock of the I is shattered, the springs of love will start flowing. Then the heart will fill with the music of love. When the heart is filled with love, a new journey starts which is difficult to describe in words. That journey will take to the very center of life. I wanted to say these few things before leaving. Now we will sit for the night meditation. For 10 minutes, we will sit for the night meditation, and then we will say goodbye. And I say goodbye to you within a hope and a prayer to God that everybody will be blessed enough to attain to love, that everybody will be blessed enough to get rid of the disease of I, that everybody will be blessed enough to find that which is already within him. A beggar had died in a very big town. Pray that you will not die like that beggar. The beggar had died after begging in the same place for 40 years. He had thought that he would become an emperor through begging. But can anybody become an emperor by begging? The more a person begs, the more of a beggar he becomes. The day he started, he was a small beggar. The day he died, he was a great beggar. But he did not become an emperor. He died. So the people in the neighborhood behaved in the same way with him as they did with other dead people. They took away his corpse and burned it along with the rags that he had left lying there. Then the people of the neighborhood thought that For 40 years, this beggar had made this very earth dirty, and it would be good to dig up some of that earth and throw it away. So they started digging, and they had a big surprise. If the beggar had been alive, he would have gone mad. After digging up the earth, they found a huge treasure buried right under the spot where the beggar used to sit and beg. He did not know that if he had dug up the earth underneath him, he would have become an emperor, and there would have been no need to beg. But what did the poor man know? His eyes were looking outside, his hands were spreading out, so he died begging. All the people of the neighborhood stood there quite shocked. What kind of beggar was this? This idiot had not even realized that a treasure had been buried exactly in the place where he was sitting. I went to that place and met the people of the neighborhood, and I said to them, "You fools, don't be concerned about the beggar. Drop your judgments of the beggar. At some time you should also dig up the earth beneath you, because it may be that when you die, other people will laugh at you." When a person dies, other people laugh at him, saying that he was naive, he could not achieve anything in his life, and they do not know that others are just waiting for them to die so that they can also laugh and say that this person was really naive and could not achieve anything. Living people laugh at somebody when he dies, but if a living person could get the idea of laughing at himself while he is still alive, then his life would be transformed. He would become a different person. If in these 3 days of the camp you have remembered to laugh at yourself, then the matter is finished. If you can remember to dig up the place where you are standing right now, then the matter is finished. Then all that I have said can certainly come to a fruition in you. In the end, I just pray that you will not die a beggar, but an emperor. I pray that you will not give the people of the neighborhood a chance to laugh. For these days, you have listened to my talks so silently and so lovingly. I am very grateful. I bow down to the divine that is present in everybody. Please accept my greetings. Now we will sit for the night meditation. All of you make some space so that you can lie down. This is the last meditation, so use it as totally as you can. Everybody should be at some distance from each other. Don't talk. Nobody should talk. Those people sitting there should spread out. Nobody should be touching anybody else. Move away from there. Move to where there is space. Don't talk at all, because this has nothing to do with talking. Some people should come up there in the front, and be careful that nobody is disturbed because of somebody else. First of all, lie down with your body totally relaxed. Allow it to be completely loose and relaxed. Then slowly close your eyes. Close your eyes. You have closed your eyes and have completely relaxed the body. Now I will give suggestions. Go on listening. Your body and mind will follow them. Feel that the body is becoming relaxed. 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 Feel that the body is becoming relaxed. Allow the body to be totally relaxed and feel in the mind that the body has become totally relaxed. The body has become relaxed. The body has become totally relaxed. The breath is becoming silent. Feel in the mind that the breath is becoming silent. The breath is becoming silent. The breath has come silent. The breath has come silent. The mind is also becoming empty. The mind is becoming silent. Feel that the mind is becoming silent. The mind has become silent. Now for 10 minutes remain awake inside and keep listening silently to all the sounds around. Stay awake inside. Don't go to sleep. Remain conscious inside. Stay awake inside and keep silently listening. Just keep listening. Keep listening to the silence of the night. And while listening, a deep emptiness will arise. Listen. For 10 minutes, keep listening silently. Just listening silently. The mind is becoming completely empty. The mind is becoming empty. The mind has become empty. The mind has become empty. The mind has become totally empty. The mind is becoming empty, drawn in the emptiness that is all around. The mind is becoming empty. The mind is becoming empty. The mind is becoming empty. The mind is becoming silent. The mind is becoming empty, drawn more deeply. The mind is becoming empty. The mind has become completely empty, empty, empty.